So I'm here to give you guys another update about the disaster zone here in Asheville, North Carolina, and how dire the situation's becoming for some people. I'm going to just dive right into this, okay? I did a video about FEMA the other day, coming into one of the local, very large trailer parks in Candler and handing out MREs and bottles of water. I took so much heat from that video. So I'm here to tell you guys exactly what is going on here with this situation. How bad and how dire it is getting. Because now it is not safe to be in your house at night. FEMA came in, handed out MREs and bottles of water to this one specific, very large trailer park out in Candler. Here is the issues behind it. They used that as a photo op. That was not one of the harder hit areas that needed those supplies right when they decided to come and hand them out. There are still places over in the immediate disaster zone that I have friends living in apartment buildings and trailers that are in areas that were completely decimated. They're still without power. They don't have water. They have no way to cook fresh foods. They can't wash their clothes. They can't take baths. FEMA has not responded to those people. What FEMA has done is gone out into areas like Candler that were not that hard hit, that are easily accessible and never lost access to the main roads, that can get to donation sites, that can get to the grocery stores if they have money, that can still get out to go to work if they still have their jobs. Most people that lived over in East Asheville and worked over there lost their jobs permanently because the buildings were totally destroyed. That was number one that pissed me off with FEMA being out there. Number two was the fact that they used it as a photo op with my elderly coworker when they handed her 2 big cases of water that they should have never been handing her to make her stand there and hold for a picture. That's why I wanted to give you the context behind that video. And so many people are sitting here attacking anyone for telling the truth about what's going on here in Asheville that it's ridiculous. FEMA waited. They waited to come in and help because they wanted to get organized. Well, here we are, over 2 weeks later from this disaster. They finally go into Candler. I still have people in the immediate disaster zone that haven't been helped at all. They're not setting up donation sites over here. FEMA's not. But they're over here shutting donation sites down. Now, here's where it gets really, really dangerous for everybody. And this is where FEMA is causing a huge issue within our community. And it's not just FEMA. I understand people just do what they're going to do. But when they come in, like they did, I think it was yesterday or the night before, to one of the biggest donation distributions that we have in Candler at a very big church, Pole Creek Baptist Church, they told them that they were no longer allowed to accept donations. Hand out what you have and that's it. There was another site set up in Fairview, handing out canned foods, diapers, cleaning supplies, just like out here. And they were told, hand out what you have today. You're no longer allowed to come back and set up. They're not replacing that site. They are just shutting it down. Meanwhile, they're handing out MREs and special bottles of water that don't expire for 10 years. But they're shutting down all of the local donation sites that have fresh food, fruits, vegetables, diapers, cleaning supplies, all of that. That's causing a problem because the people that don't have any income right now, the people that don't have that moral boundary are now breaking into houses and looting. I'm a single mom. My company, I work for a fast food chain. I'm in the management. I have more than a handful of my stores in the immediate area with this one company that are shut down. That's hundreds of employees right now without paychecks. Hundreds of employees without paychecks. My last paycheck was $48. A lot of my friends and my family and my local community have to go to these donation sites that FEMA is shutting down and not replacing. They need the diapers, the fresh foods, the canned vegetables. They need that stuff to survive. But that's not what any FEMA group that has even touched Candler is handing out. They're just making sure we can't get it anymore. That is the problem with what is happening here in Asheville. They did not give us an immediate response like we needed. And now they're coming in and causing more harm than good. When you see the stories of people's roads getting washed out, bridges getting washed out, trees falling, all of the stuff, all of the cleanup that's been going on, that's not FEMA in here doing that either. That's the local country boys coming in with their heavy equipment, the community banding together and doing it themselves. The majority of the recovery efforts and the rescues were done by local community members or people who came in to help the local community, not FEMA. So when you see people saying bad things about FEMA, it's probably because FEMA has not handled this situation at all. And that should really piss a lot of people off, because God forbid that there is ever a natural disaster where you live, you're going to want that immediate response. You're not going to want a company to sit there and say, we need a couple weeks to get organized. That's not what you want. Your friends and your family and possibly even you will not make it through that experience if that's the case. If your local community cannot band together, you won't make it. So when this organization finally does get mobilized and they're out there and they're ready to help, and all they do is come in and take away the resources that you have for help, that's a big problem, y'all. It's a big problem that should open everybody's eyes. This situation here in Western North Carolina should be an eye-opener for the rest of the country. This situation and how this happened with these organizations needs to be fixed before the next major disaster. Florida right now didn't get hit quite as hard as they thought it was going to. There's still a lot of damage down there, a lot of people down there that need help. I really hope that FEMA steps up for them better and quicker and far more organized than they did for us. And I hope that they don't cause the same type of disaster that's happening here. At 3 o'clock yesterday morning, my dad woke me up. He lives next door. He said someone's messing around outside. The night before that, I had several neighbors on Facebook talking about how cargo vans pulled up into their driveways and they woke up at 1 o'clock in the morning to people looking through their windows. The night before that, there were more than 6 houses broken into within a mile stretch of mine. These people don't have the moral lines that we have, and I understand that, but they're also desperate. They're also desperate. And that sucks. My last paycheck was $48. I was doing everything that I could. I filed for unemployment. I filed for the FEMA disaster. I've gotten nothing. I had $48 on my last paycheck. I have no savings. My child's birthday is coming up. My bills are due. God forbid they start shutting down donation sites and we can't get the food that we need. Because there are thousands of us here. Thousands of us. And all FEMA has done is come in and made it worse for us. It's a problem. So y'all stay safe out there.